A common thing you may hear if you spend enough time in the cesspit known as the Mario fandom is a common line when talking about Sticker Star, that being, it should have free attacks. Now this is a, on the surface, valid point as yeah, why should I waste a sticker to attack? But that also ignores a bunch of things, which is why in this video I'll explain why Paper Mario Sticker Star does not need a free attack. Because truly, for the type of game Sticker Star is, a free attack will be useless, and or just breaking the gameplay loop. And yada yada, subscribe because we're nearly at 1000. But firstly, let's look at what kind of game Sticker Star is. Not just slapping on the RPG tagline and saying that it needs a free attack. From the start of the game, since Decalburg, the player is shown that this game is a collectathon, as you literally have to explore the town to find the toads, and then the added nature of the stickers around the area emphasizes the fact that exploration and collecting items will be the way forward. And afterwards, in the next 3 levels, which I also consider a tutorial, to beat them, you are also inclined to explore, and the areas you go to, when you go explore them, also have better stickers to find. And are also a thing you'll need. So you can throw an adventure into this game's tagline as well, and because stickers are found and are bought, and you can run out, meaning you have to manage which to use and when, so we can finally say that this is a resource management adventure collectathon, from what we can see. And before we get too far into this, I should say Sticker Star does technically have free attacks, as if you have 0 stickers, then the game will give you a jump or hammer sticker, besides Final Bowser where you get a wider range of stickers. And there's also free stickers scattered around everywhere in the levels, but I'm talking about the free stickers you get when your sticker count drops to 0 mid-fight, because I have a feeling that's what people would more want in free stickers, that you don't actually have to work for them, because oh my god, having to collect in a collectathon game? You can't be serious. And now, is this a viable strategy? Oh dear, in my name, no! As for one, in the overworld fights, that will rob you of a perfect bonus, risky because you have to take damage, slow because unless you're fighting a Goomba or a Koopa, this stick won't deal enough damage to kill them, and so it'll just take a while, and therefore, not worth it. And for bosses, oh by my name, it's even worse! As, okay, the only time you should have 0 stickers in a boss fight is at the ass end of a boss fight, like when they have less than 10 HP. The free stickers, they exist, they're meant to push someone over the edge to beat a boss. But trying to beat a boss out with just the free stickers? Like, not even mentioning that it'd probably take an hour or more, and unable to do combos, but near impossible, because you won't have heals, so you'll just die, unless you're good enough to consistently get the triple mushrooms, which I highly doubt a person like that exists, as I'm a Sticker Star pro in my opinion, and I even can't land it consistently enough. But yeah, you do rarely see people who complain about the fact that Sticker Star doesn't have free attacks mention anything about this game having free attacks that just come in once you run out. Probably because they're too busy getting wrecked by the Goomba mini-boss in Bouquet Garden. But after that whole segment about explaining why Sticker Star does actually have free attacks, now we'll look at this in 2 ways. One where it's regular jump and hammer, and one where it's just the worn out jump and hammer. So, assuming that the free attack will be the regular hammer and or jump, we come into our first problem, that free stickers wouldn't fit the game's adventure collectathon theme. As let's think about it, if you had no reason to explore because you can always attack a common enemy, then what reason would you have to explore? Or what would incentivize you to explore? A large part of this game is about exploring, to get things like the fan, tap, vacuums, bowling ball, the ice things, light bulb, all require just a little extra push to find them or to go out of your way to find them, so if a player is given less reason to snoop around, then why should they? As especially with having a free attack, then also collecting stickers is desensitized, because then there wouldn't be a reason to collect stickers in order to have a backup of stickers. Like adding free attacks literally removes any reason to pick up, let's just say the normal stickers, the regular ones like the normal line jumps, hop slippers, iron jumps in the overworld, unless they're like the flashy variants, which are really rare and rarely seen. But secondly, we get into it not fitting the gameplay, as it would ruin 2 things. Firstly, the loop, and secondly, the risk. The gameplay loop of Sticker Star involves picking up stickers and using the less viable ones in the fights for the overworld to amass wealth in order to be able to buy stickers for bosses, and or just use the good stickers that you manage to find for bosses. That is the gameplay loop. You are encouraged to always be rotating, to be sifting. You are effectively diamond panning in Sticker Star, and this system also gives every sticker in Sticker Star a use, because you naturally want to use the appropriate sticker for the job, to, get it done quickly and efficiently. Like, sure, the jump and iron jump deal the same damage, but you wouldn't waste an iron jump on a Koopa. No, you'd use an iron jump on something like a Spiny or a Pokey, and a jump on like a Goomba. That's the point of the regular attacks, to be the mass wave attacks, to be used on foes that can be taken out by them, which is why they are plentiful, because you want to waste them, and use the better stickers on trickier formations and or boss fights. And this system works because you run out of attacks. You don't want to waste anything. But with free attacks, that loop kind of just doesn't work, as there's a reason this game doesn't have free attacks, because it invalidates the loop, as there's no more sifting through, no more thinking about what you can do when you can just spam the free attacks. Which, sure, if thinking is something you don't like, then fine, whatever. But personally, I prefer the game actually having me to think about my choices, to manage my resources in this resource management game, instead of just spamming, which would also lead to a repetitive gameplay loop of just doing the same attacks over and over without any strategy nor thought. Next thing we get onto is the risk, which runs off the previous statement, as in this game you are basically forced to manage your resources, and so if you don't manage them and just willy-nilly everything and never carry stickers, then the game will punish you for playing poorly. If you go into a boss fight unprepared with just like 8 stickers, then the game won't hold your hand. It will just let you die if you go into a fight with terrible stickers. You are going to be punished if you don't put in the effort to come into a boss fight prepared. But that was if the free attacks were a normal variants of the jump and hammer. And now what if instead it was the worn out variants, which is probably more likely given how there's only 2 worn outs, and they are the jump and hammer. The point for these two is then, what would be their use? Like generally, if Sticker Star had free attacks, would you ever use them? Especially with how plentiful jump and hammer stickers are, they will fall into the same category that the Origami King free attacks fall into, and that is being completely useless because of the abundance/ease of access to better attacks even in the early game. And with them dealing low damage, they are never used, and they are worthless. And you may say that your flashy hammer and Origami King can break, but that doesn't mean it's easy to run out of replacements that can just fill their spot once they break. Like, deadass, does anyone use the free attacks in Origami King after like even the first hour of gameplay before you can just switch to a shiny hammer? And this point also lesser goes for the normal jump/hammer variant of these hypotheticals, as once you start getting shiny stickers, they become nearly more or less useless, as it'd be more efficient, especially for perfect bonuses, to just use like shiny stickers, because the enemies in the later part of the game do have more HP. And to end this video off, I feel like the only people complaining about this are the people who played this game poorly by ignoring stickers. Then, when they got into a fight where their laziness in playing the game catches up with them, they complain because the game refused to hold their hand, and instead it punished them for playing poorly. So the only thing they want is to force something that doesn't fit into a game like this. But anyway, that's the end of the video. If you like what you saw, like and subscribe, and if not, tell me why in the comments, and I'll see y'all later.